Oh yeah. There we go, guys. That was like a reaction strike, basically. Oh wow. There's 4, 5 more good-sized smallmouth with him. I just saw this group of fish was just kind of cruising, and they saw this thing, and oh, this is a good fish, guys. This is a good going on, everybody. Welcome to Cross Country Bank Angler. It is early mid-August, and today I'm going to be doing some river wading today, some wade fishing. Specifically going to be something a little that I don't really do a whole lot, which is finesse fishing for bass, particularly smallmouth. That's really our main target today, but we could probably run into some largemouth in this place as well. That's actually a place I've been already this year. So today I'm kind of coming back here. You know, what really worked well last time was a Wacky rig. So I'm going to be trying to fish the Wacky rig almost exclusively today for the bass in here, the smallmouth and the largemouth. And we're going to be trying to just experiment a little bit with some different worms on the Wacky rig. So we're going to start off with one kind of similar to what we used last time, and then we're going to fish with it for a certain period of time, and then we'll switch to another worm, and we'll kind of rotate through and see if one seems to do better than the others. You never know until you throw. So let's go. All right, guys, so last time I went downstream. Today I'm going to go upstream. Downstream, we found some fish, but it was, we hit a deep spot where we couldn't continue wading. So I'm kind of hoping today we can maybe go a little bit further, explore a little more water before having to turn around. This place is very clear. I'm using the spinning setup. That's right, just a spinning rod today, no bait caster. I know I do a lot of BFS and fishing with a bait caster, but for slow stuff, I think a spinning rod makes a little more sense, especially if you're throwing something, bass sized. So, and this is a setup I've had for a long time. This is the KastKing Valiant Eagle spinning reel. It's a 6:2-to-1 gear ratio, kind of a faster reel, and I've had it for a while, and it's very worked very reliably for me. And then this rod is a 7-foot medium fast action, and it's a the Graphite series from Bass Pro Shops, which is kind of like a budget rod, but it's lasted me a long time, and it's just done pretty well. So here's the bait I'm going to be starting with. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but this is the Bass Pro Shops Wacky stick. It's kind of like a Senko style worm, but it's got more exaggerated profile and kind of ribbing on it. There's a couple of other companies that make something similar. It's just like a more exaggerated stick worm, basically. It's supposed to have a little more action, and it's supposed to be uniquely suited for a Wacky rig, so we'll see if that's the case. Last time this is what caught the majority of the good sized fish. So this color is called Green Pumpkin Magic. It's basically a green pumpkin with some gold flake in it. Not identical to what we were using before when we were here earlier, but pretty similar. So I have a hard time believing the Wacky rig won't work out here today after how well it worked before. There's one, guys. It's another one chasing it. Slightly bigger one. Oh, we lost our worm too. Okay guys, that's like an 11 incher. So I finally am starting to see some fish. I saw one pull up right in front of me, and there's another one in this pool that's actually bigger. So I'm staying pretty still. That's a good fish right there. But anyway, this we casted this upstream and this guy came over and nailed it. There's like a 3-pounder in front of me. I'm gonna let this guy go and get another worm rigged up. Thank you, buddy. There's one. He followed it in, and I paused it as I was, I was reeling in for the next cast, and he was behind it. Alright guys, there's one. Maybe about 11 inches. It's about the 11 or 12 is about the normal size in here. Alright, let's let this guy go. Thank you, buddy. Alright guys, so here's our next bait that we're going to wacky rig. This is a River Rock custom bait. This is a local brand to my state. And this is that bubblegum pearl. It's a bright pink 4-inch, so a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. And it's got more of that typical stickworm profile as well. It doesn't have kind of the exaggerated tips. But the main difference here is going to be the color and that profile. So we'll see. I did a video with these last year on some smallmouth, and they did pretty good. We caught largemouth on them too, so, or I think we did. But anyway, this is our next lure. Let's get it rigged up, start casting. All right, guys, here it is. Definitely a lighter plastic than that Bass Pro Shops worm. First cast, guys. First cast. Yeah, get off that. Oh yeah. Nice strong fish here, the smallmouth bass. There we go, another one, about 11, I would say, maybe 10. Look at that, his jaw's been damaged by probably a prior encounter with a fisherman. The fish in here are kind of beat up. We found one with a messed up gill and then one with a messed up jaw, so the fish in here are getting smashed, it seems like, by fishing pressure. But let's let this guy go. Sight casted to like a little bass, maybe 8 inches or so, and he grabbed it, but he did not have the hook. Here's a fish. Not the target species, but we got one. Look at that, guys. A spunky red breast got the wacky rig. Look at that. I think he was hungry. What do you think? Definitely a hungry guy to eat that. Alright, little red breast. Very ambitious fish here. Let's let him go. Oh yeah, there we go, guys. That was like a reaction strike, basically. Oh wow, there's 4, 5 more good-sized smallmouth with him. I just saw this group of fish was just kind of cruising, and they saw this thing, and oh, this is a good fish, guys. This is a good fish. Oh yes, yes sir. That's our biggest so far, no question. So we were popping this thing along. These fish were watching it. Wow, those were some nice ones too. And they were kind of reacting to some movement. I was twitching it and they would get aggravated, and this one was the most aggressive, and he just came up and sucked it up. So not sure. I mean, this is definitely the best one of the day. It might have just been luck. I don't know if it actually had to do with it being pink, because they weren't that interested in it until I kind of started working it a little bit. And this guy, you know, they kind of got competitive, and this one decided to eat it. This is like a 15-incher here. Nice fish, guys. All right, people, we're doing a little bit of wacky rig bass fishing today. Testing out some different lures, different baits, different worms. And this is our nicest one so far. Beautiful smallmouth. Let's let him go. Nice fish. Nice fish, guys. There were about 4 or 5 others around that size with them, so need to get back in there. Whoa. Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. You're watching Cross Country Bank Angler. If you're enjoying the video so far, if you've learned something new about fishing, or just find the video entertaining or relaxing in any way, then I want to take the time to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. I know that there's a lot of fishing related content on YouTube right now. There are a lot of channels out there. So if you're taking the time to watch mine, I just want to say that I appreciate you, and I hope you'll stick around. We've got weekly fishing videos here at Cross Country Bank Angler. You know, wade fishing, topwater, bait finesse, ultralight. So if that's the kind of fishing that you enjoy, then I encourage you to hit that subscribe button, because I think you'll enjoy all the future content that I'm going to be putting out on the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you'll consider supporting me by subscribing. Alright people, so we are putting away the River Rock Custom Baits Bubblegum Pearl. In terms of quality, we did get a better one on this. So for our next bait here, we've got something I've never attempted before and really is quite different. And maybe not what you would expect to put on a wacky rig, but this is a Bass Pro Shops, the Magnum Finicky Worm. These are 6-inch worms. The 10-pack of them I've got with me today. Let's take a look at one. And there it is. It's a pretty big, thick, meaty worm. It's got a flat side here, And notice this tail, this bulbous tail. It's got a little scoop right there. We're going to be rigging this with that scoop down so that that catches some water. And ideally will produce a bit more action. Alright people, so we are back to the Bass Pro Shop's Wacky stick. But our experimentation is not completely over. This is a slightly different color. This is actually one from the old pack that I used last time I was here, and unfortunately misplaced. But this one has some blue flake in it instead of gold. I don't know what that color is called. I'll have to look it up. But this was the one that worked well last time. There's one, guys. Yep. Here we go, guys. All right, it's another good one. That's another good one. I'd say he's 13 or 14. Pretty fish, guys. Been a while since we caught anything. Been a while since I've seen a fish. Once again, we're ended up kind of sight fishing today a lot. And we made a cast to this guy, and he was kind of swimming between some rocks, and this thing sank down in front of him, and he decided he couldn't refuse. So that's another good fish. All right, pretty fish. Let's get him out of here. Nice one. All right, people, it's time to wrap things up here at the river. So we did our little experiment with the Wacky rig, targeting smallmouth bass. Let's see, we caught, I think 6 bass total, 6 smallmouth, and then 1 redbreast today. No largemouth showed up. I was kind of expecting to run into at least 1 or 2, but yeah, no, I didn't really see many, and I don't think I got any bites from them. So, but yeah, anyway, you know, we tried the Bass Pro Shop's Wacky stick, the River Rock baits, stick bait, that pink one, and then the Bass Pro Shop's Magnum finicky worm. It seemed like today a lot of the catches were sight casting. You know, you'd see a fish, cast ahead of it, and either they would turn and see it and go for it, or they wouldn't. Yeah, kind of a tricky day. This is a tricky spot. You know, the water's super clear, the fish are spooky. But overall, the verdict was definitely for the Wacky stick. That one caught the most. The biggest came on the River Rock, the pink stick worm. But I think that was more of a circumstantial situation. You know, there were several fish following it, and they got kind of antsy, and one of them just decided to pounce on it before the others could get it. Not a bad time at all out here at the river. You know, it's a nice, calm place to be out and fishing, you know, spending some free time out here. And the Wacky rig definitely seems to be the way to go out here. With that being said, I hope you like this type of video. I hope you enjoyed what you just saw, our little experiment with the Wacky rig. I definitely recommend trying the Wacky rig next time you're in kind of one of these situations where you've got clear water and you're waiting, targeting smallmouth. That being said, thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Peace.